How Organix and Breckenridge went from a nearly bankrupt dispensary to turning a profit in 2018. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News. First, it's a brutally cold start to 2019. Nighttime temps have dipped below 0 degrees since last week, reaching negative 21 degrees in Summit Cove this morning. The lowest low across the state goes to Fraser near Winter Park with negative 26. Temps could swing nearly 60 degrees by the weekend. Forecasters expect local highs in the mid-40s by this Saturday. Tens of millions of Americans make New Year's resolutions, but by this time next year, just 8% will have kept them. So how can you make this year's resolution stick?
Make it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-oriented.
That was Renee Rogers with the Silverthorne Rec Center. She recommends short-term goals like hitting the gym or walking outside to reach your long-term goals of weight loss or finishing a triathlon.
The one thing is finding what you like. So if you don't like to run, don't make that a goal because you won't want to do it.
If you fall off the wagon, don't consider your resolution a failure.
If you get off track, if you're like, oh, I didn't get my hour workout in today, I'm a failure, it's okay. Maybe get a few 10-minute breaks of different activity throughout your day.
Focus on the process of improving, not the result, and don't forget those small rewards.
For each day you work out or make a healthy choice, you can put a point to it with a reward attached. Ideally not food, but maybe new workout gear, a massage, a fun outing with a friend or family member.
Rogers says these tips are good for anything from exercise to reading more books. Her final tip, find a buddy to hold you accountable and share your successes. Colorado's recreational marijuana industry celebrated 6 years yesterday, and CEO Alex Levine of Green Dragon Cannabis in Breck is still pinching himself.
If you asked me 3 years ago where we'd be now, I never would have believed you. If you asked me 10 years ago that I'd be working in the cannabis industry and that cannabis would even be legal, I would have laughed in your face.
What has changed since 2014? Levine and peers agree consolidation is the industry's future. General Manager Jake Fessler explains how Organix, found next door to Green Dragon, went from nearly bankrupt to turning a profit in less than a year after it was bought by Colorado Cannabis Company.
It opened the door to a lot more resources, cheaper production of products, just because now we can get them directly from our own lab, and essentially there's not a cost associated with that, so it allows us to sell it for a better price to the customers.
Then there was guerrilla marketing.
We felt like if we won Breckenridge over, if we won all the different restaurants, bartenders, Uber drivers, ski lift operators, if anybody would go and ask them, which dispensary do you shop at, and they say Organix, that's all it takes, really.
Another major shift, other states and entire countries are getting into the cannabis game. Shannon Fender with Native Roots.
We're actually the first U.S. cannabis operator to acquire a license in Canada. We were given one of 4 licenses to open in Manitoba just about a year ago, and we'll be opening under the brand Garden Variety in early 2019.
Dispensary execs like Levine believe Colorado's industry set the mold for other states and could destroy the black market through simple economics.
When you're growing in your basement and we're growing in a 120,000 square foot commercial greenhouse facility, there's no way you can compete.
Black market trafficking does remain a blight in neighboring states, but Fessler at Organix believes his employees will always outshine drug dealers.
We all buy the same edibles, we pay the same prices for them, concentrates are essentially the same, flower is flower, we all grow our different strains. The one thing that sets a business apart is really customer service.
And yet, insiders agree the industry does not print money. Taxes can equal 80 to 100% of revenue at small operations, and dispensaries still cannot operate with federal bank accounts. Levine.
No one has access to real capital. They can't get loans, mortgages. It's pretty wild that this has been able to succeed.
What keeps the industry afloat?
It's really because of customer demand.
Find our entire 4-part marijuana series online on the Krystal 93 YouTube page. That's Krystal with a K. Frisco has a new town manager. Nancy Carey comes from South Lake Tahoe, California, where she served as town manager since 2012. She replaces Randy Reedy, who stepped down in September after nearly 2 years in that role. The Summit Daily reports Carey left Tahoe amid allegations of a toxic work environment. Frisco investigated those anonymous claims and found no concerning evidence. Carey's first day is January 28th. In sports, the Avalanche played the Sharks tonight at 7:30 on NBCSN, and in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, Breckenridge Vipers hockey is back at it this weekend, January 4th and 5th, against the Vail Yeti in Vail. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News.